Welcome to Indian Tech Icon Spotlight, where stories of resilience meet the power of code. I'm your host, Sheetal Acharya, and let's welcome our guest, Mr. Tejbir Singh, who is a champion of digital growth, data governance, and building high-performing teams. Hi, Tejbir. Welcome to our show, and it's really lovely to have you with us today.
Thanks, Sheetal, for the warm welcome, and it's my pleasure to be here talking with you.
So, Tejbir, let's start with your career journey. We would love to know how your career progression has been, starting from your very first job to your current role.
Yeah. So if I speak about my current role, so it hasn't been a linear progression. So I started in a completely different field. So back in 2011, when I completed my bachelor's and in petroleum engineering, I started working for an oil refinery, Reliance Industries Limited. So I spent 2 years there working as a field engineer. And yeah, when I was working there, then I realized at that time that was my dream job. But after spending 2 years, I realized this is not what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And the easiest avenue to get out of that job was to pursue masters. And then I wrote my competition tests and enrolled in Symbiosis International University to pursue my MBA. And in 2015, I completed my master's and I was hired by Infosys Limited in their data and analytics consulting division. Before I was hired in Infosys, I didn't have any prior experience or any clue about data governance and data management. So they gave me a designation of data governance consultant, but I didn't even understand at that point what data governance means. But Infosys being a great organization, I got an opportunity to work with different industries on different projects, which provided me a great perspective on setting up data governance programs right from scratch, working on multitude aspects of data governance like technology, people, and processes. And then in 2018, I decided to explore opportunities beyond India as well. So we decided to move to Canada. So we landed here in June of 2018. And then I got my first break here in Canada in October of 2018 with TD Bank. And I started working in their chief data office as a metadata management analyst. And so I was able to apply my previous experiences that I acquired working with Infosys. So I spent about 1.5 years there, and then I had more hunger at that time, and I was thinking that I wasn't making meaningful contributions, which I could have done with my experience. So I decided to make a move, and I joined a consulting company called Infotech Research Group. So they were starting their data and analytics division. They had a solid pipeline. I started working with them. I was hired as a third member on their team. But most of their clients were federal government clients. And in 2020, February of 2020, I joined them. And then in March, COVID hit, and most of the projects, went into they were halted because government stopped the funding for any, external projects. They just wanted to keep the lights on and, run the operations. So in August, Infotech decided to dissolve the team and I was let go. And then I rejoined the workforce and by joining Shaw Communications, and I became the data governance lead there and helped them evolve their data governance program. After that, I had a brief stint with a startup in blockchain space called Dapper Labs. So that was a unique proposition because that industry was completely new to me, and there I got an opportunity to be the single data governance guy to establish everything from scratch. There wasn't any policy, data related policy in that organization. So I had the opportunity to build something meaningful from scratch. But my tenure there lasted for about 8 or 9 months. 9 months, before they decided to lay off more than half of the company. So I was part of that layoff. But then, at that time, I had this realization wherein, I understood now I need to move beyond chasing the fads and do something meaningful. Then I decided working with Canada Life. So that was a brief stint, but it was an impactful one. So I was able to, accelerate their data governance program by implementing few policies and standards that they were not able to do that for last 3-4 years. So that was an interesting stint. And then I decided to move to Calgary from Toronto. So I have to unfortunately leave the Canada Life team because they had the policy of being in office. So then I joined Fractal Analytics and I started working for McKesson as my end client. So McKesson is the Fortune 9 pharma company, and they initiated the process of implementing data governance program. So I was hired as an external consultant to advise the leadership there. And since then, I worked for 1.5 years with Fractal, and then McKesson people decided to onboard me on their team. And so I made the move from Fractal to McKesson as a full-time employee. So that has been my journey so far. And it has been, I've made a lot of moves, some intentional and some unintentional, but I think it has been a great learning experience for me.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a wonderful journey, and I'm sure it's with ups and downs, but now where you are right now, there is no looking back, and you're just creating waves in the tech industry.
I'm just trying to calm the waves, not create them. There are already so many waves out there. So but we need to sail through them peacefully. Yeah,
that's wonderful. So Tejbir, if I ask you about your current roles and responsibilities, if you could share that with us, what normal work day looks like to you?
Yeah. So I have a lot of meetings. So my day to day is getting in front of business people to help them understand the importance of, like, everybody knows they need data to make impactful decisions, but my job is to make them understand we need to have quality data. We need to have somebody to speak about that data, to provide the organizational context around that data to help make impactful decisions. So my job is to have these conversations with business people to bridge that gap that we create as techies. We have a bad tendency of throwing jargons at business people, which offends them. So, I help them convey the importance of managing data in the terms that the business can relate, which, so that's the most part of my job. So, I spend about 3-4 hours daily talking about, importance of managing data with different set of people. And then additional thing is to bring the data fraternity across my business unit together. And that is a monthly forum where we connect and try to understand the challenges being faced by different data professionals and how data governance team can help address those challenges or alleviate those pain points. So and another aspect of my job is to mentor the other analysts who are new to this data governance world, or they're still in their initial stages. So my job is to coach them and provide pragmatic viewpoints around scaling data governance, not just theoretical. There are a lot of theoretical knowledge bases available, but to make it more scalable and so that is my goal with them.
That's wonderful. So Tejbir, you mentioned about you interact with customers and you explain to them or maybe the business value, what data can bring. So what are the common challenges that you see when you deal with the customers?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. And so our customers are the business teams, and they do understand the importance of having right data available to right people at right time, but they don't truly appreciate the effort it takes to ensure that data is available in the right format at the right time. So the major challenge that I see is around data ownership. So everybody in the organization that I work with, the main theme that I hear is, oh, IT owns the data. But my viewpoint is, no, IT just owns the infrastructure. They might own the infrastructure where data is stored, but they don't have any clue about what this data means. They don't have any organizational context around data. So, that's the biggest hurdle. So this is where I work with business to help them understand their role in managing and governing data, because most of the knowledge resides in the heads of these SMEs. So they know about data, but they are confused, or they're a bit scared about when we talk about data structures and things around data. Like they just think about they need to have technical expertise to manage data, but my role is to simplify these for them. You just need to write better definitions, who understands what data components, and make it more meaningful for the organization.
So you make it easy for them to understand, the requirement. That's wonderful. So Tejbir, let's talk about from your, very first role till now, you're completely immersed in data.
Yeah.
So what are the current trends in data governance that excites you most these days?
Oh, wow. So when I started my journey with Infosys in 2015, at that time, data governance was merely I would say, a side product of regulations. And it was taken seriously only by the financial organizations. And slowly with the rise of privacy related regulations, data governance started getting adopted across different companies or different industries. But it was morely regulatory driven or compliance driven. But now the tables are changing with a lot of hype around AI. Now people have started realizing, AI is only powerful and meaningful if it has strong data backing it up. And to have that strong data, we need to have stronger governance around it. So people are now connecting the dots with data, from data to business value.
Yeah.
And now people are paying attention. So that's what excites me. And that's the latest trend. So people are now viewing data governance as an enabler as opposed to a compliance driven function.
It's wonderful. Tejbir, let's talk about, you have been leading different teams. You have led different, projects. What are how do you see yourself evolving as a leader all these years?
I was completely wrong about that, but I thought I could change the whole world. I had that notion somewhere back of my mind, but slowly with passage of time and getting more maturity, I've started realizing it's not, how the things would work. So I've started, maturing on the social aspects of this role as well, like how to get along with other team members, to understand what motivates them. It's because sometimes the motivations are not same, and not sometimes, but most of the times motivations are completely different. So understand what excites which team member and how to keep that excitement going on, so that that individual is feeling completely engaged, as well as they are bringing their best selves to the work to make meaningful impact. So this is what I have learned over the years. So how to work better in diversified teams, and providing an opportunity to all individuals to contribute, and not just for the sake of doing it, but their voices are equally heard.
Yeah. And that's a great perspective. Now, talking about the teams, what do you exactly look for when you have to select a team for your project? Other than the technical skill sets, what core qualities you look for in them?
Probably the last thing that I look for, because we don't do any rocket science. So what we do can be taught to anyone who has critical thinking skills. So my biggest, so the skills that I look for in my team is, they are critical thinkers, and they don't just, they have the ability to challenge the ideas in a respectful way, and so that we can build a culture of healthy arguments or healthy debates, and there's not just one person taking decisions and everybody abiding by it, but my perspective on building impactful teams is where everybody is a contributor irrespective of their job level, but they have the freedom to voice their ideas and have healthy debates around those ideas, and then vet them what's meaningful to pursue and what's not.
So talking about the healthy arguments you mentioned, or debates, so if there are any conflicts in the team, what's your approach to handle those conflicts?
So my approach is simple. No idea is not like completely bizarre. Maybe there are, but at least give that individual an opportunity to defend the ideas that they have brought further. If if they're able to provide some data points or some meaningful arguments around like whether this is a safe idea or a sound idea to pursue, and then the other team members, if they don't have any counter proving data points or arguments that this idea will completely fail, our idea intent is to push that into backlog, and then bring all the vetted ideas in prioritization metrics, and then see which idea will generate the maximum impact in minimum amount of time. So we gel as a team to pursue or accomplish those ideas first. So those go into the roadmap as high critical items, and when there are some ideas which are they are more like experimental initiatives. So we'll still keep them in the low priority if we have the bandwidth or some time to pursue them. We try to do some experimental work as well, but we don't simply discard any ideas.
Right. So you coming from the data, you believe in getting the right data sets
yes.
to the arguments.
Yes. So
Wonderful.
We need to have some, like, it cannot be, someone saying, okay, I believe it. No,
get the proof.
This is not how things work, right?
Definitely.
Yeah,
No, I really like that idea. Yeah, thanks for sharing that insight, Tejbir, with us. Now, again, talking about the leadership skills, what have failures or setbacks have taught you in life?
I think the biggest thing is to understand the concept of critical feedback and constructive and critical feedback. So initially, I was not able to reactive than responsive. So initially in my career, when somebody provided constructive feedback, I was very responsive. How can I do that? How did I do that? Like, even if I had different intentions, why did my message didn't come across to the other individual in a right manner? Then I started realizing, I cannot grow with that mentality. So I started becoming more responsive, try to absorb what feedback that I got, what would be the trigger behind that, and then find out ways how I can improve on that, rather than being defensive. I was right. No. So just absorb that information and see how even if I was right, how I can be better in conveying my message to the other party, to the other stakeholders, so that they perceive the message in a way that I wanted to convey.
So Tejbir, we talked about your leadership skills, we talked about technology. Now we would love to hear from you about your early days from your hometown. How was your upbringing? Are there any values from your childhood that you still carry in your leadership style?
Yeah. So yes. So I grew up in Amritsar. So it's a town in Punjab state of India, and I studied there till my grade 11 and then moved to Chandigarh in grade 12. And yeah, so my childhood was good, as most of the children have. So and few of the qualities that I learned from my parents as well as friends at that time was to understand the power of now. We always worry about our future, we always think about our past, but that's okay. We need to appreciate the moment that we are living in. So that has stayed with me, and that has eventually helped me grow as a leader as well. Sometimes when we talk about in professional settings as well about our future goals and things that we can do in 3 or 5 years time frame, but that's okay. We need to plan for that. But if we need to really achieve that objective, we need to appreciate the moment that we are living in and bring our best selves to work and empower our teams so that everyone is aligned to that higher level goal. So that's the value that I'm carrying alongside with me.
And yeah, I think that's a wonderful takeaway for everyone living in this fast-paced world, to even value the current moment.
Yes.
So yeah, thanks for sharing that, Tejbir, with us. Now, talking about your college days, you mentioned you did MBA from Pune. So how were those days like? What kind of student you were at that time? You pursue MBA. Was it like out of choice, or your parents wanted to, go for MBA?
No, so doing MBA was an escape from working in an oil refinery. So the easiest escape that I mentioned, for me to get out of that job was to pursue higher studies, and MBA was something that I wanted to do in my life. And so I thought it's a right moment. So I pursued that. And talking about the kind of student, I was an above average student. I wasn't a merit student or an average. I was above average, but scored well in exams, but I was more interested in extracurricular activities, participating in debates and bringing the community together on different aspects, like volunteering was closer to my heart, and then exploring outdoors. So, we had created a trekking community there, and I used to take my batchmates and seniors and juniors in different years, right, to those trekking trips. So that I spent most of the time, after my classes outdoors, exploring different trekking avenues, and that helped me grow as an individual as well. Because when I encountered different challenges and around people who were from different backgrounds, so I learned a lot of things from them.
So how do you manage to, take out time? I know you have a demanding work schedule. So what are your weekend rituals? How do you take out time, and whether you go out on vacations, or what your weekend ritual normally?
So I've blogged some times in the morning where I take her to her daycare, and then after the close of my working day, I tend to not go back to my laptop or mobile. So I try to spend as much time as I can with her physically, not digitally.
Yeah, that's more important.
Yes. And then on weekends, we try to limit our chores early in the morning so that we spare our evenings so that we can go outside and explore outdoors or do some activities that she enjoys.
So Tejbir, it's wonderful knowing about your career journey, about your early days, and about your family. Now we're just we're nearing the end of our wonderful conversation, and we're just moving to our last section, which is the rapid fire round. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and I would be expecting some quick answers from you on those.
Okay.
Shall we start?
Yes.
Okay. So your first question, a skill you are still trying to master?
Data governance.
Okay. Favorite way to unwind after a long day?
Make some good food.
Okay. Nice. What's on your playlist right now, if you're fond of music?
I've started listening to A.R. Rahman, and
Okay, nice. Data or intuition? What do you trust more?
Data.
Perfect. What's your go-to productivity hack?
My productivity hack is, just go out for a quick walk, get some fresh air, and it helps me concentrate well on the work that I'm doing.
Okay, that's wonderful. Ever used AI to settle a household debate? Yes or no?
No, it's not that intelligent.
That's a fair answer. And the last question, your mantra or life motto in one line?
Live life to the fullest.
And that's perfect. Thank you so much, Tejbir. You did a great job in, answering to the rapid fire questions. And it's been really wonderful, chatting with you, knowing about your journey, knowing about your college days, and about your family. We wish you continued success for all your upcoming ventures. Thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thanks, and appreciate for having me here.